Hello and good morning, Flight Attendant Career Connection. Y'all know I gotta jiggle my camera, adjust my hair first thing. And it's crazy because when I do before I get started on the live stream and I'm logged into StreamYard, I can totally see myself in a little thumbnail. But for some reason, when it's like bang on the screen, I'm like, oh, we need to adjust a little. But okay, welcome. I'm super duper excited about today's video live broadcast. If you're watching the replay, let us know if you have questions. I know I'm going to bring Laura on in a minute, and I know she's going to be monitoring the comments probably forever. So if you ever have questions whenever you're stumbling upon this video, she's going to be able to answer your questions about skincare because she is the expert. This video is a little bit different than what we do a lot of the times because so much of the time we're focusing on strategy for interviewing to become a flight attendant, basically. But, you know, with a group of 80,000 people, we have so many different needs and possibilities for assistance and different problems and different concerns. And so one thing that I know is a big concern for flight attendants, frequent travelers like myself, even though I'm not a flight attendant anymore, as well as people who are trying to interview. So you're trying to look good on camera, you're trying to look your best, feel your most confident self in the interview, is skincare. I mean, it's our face, right? One thing that interviewers are always looking for is someone who looks approachable. So, you know, we're thankfully in the US past the point where we need to be pretty, young, pretty thin to be a flight attendant, but still having a face that is approachable, meaning someone can come up to you if they're afraid, if they have a question, if they have a concern, just having that face where it looks like you could be approached is important. And part of that comes from confidence. So if we're feeling uncomfortable about ourselves or we're not feeling so great about the way we look, you can definitely accidentally put off a vibe that would say, don't really talk to me, I'm not feeling you. So that's a reason that skincare is important, as well as all of the so that's from a job point of view, but then also from a health standpoint, you know, cosmic radiation, standing on the curb, waiting for the hotel van with all of the exhaust from the idling cars, just like your skin, just like drinking it in. All of that to our personal health is important too. So I know Laura's going to talk a lot about that. Her and I have chatted a bit off camera to make sure that she understands what kind of needs we have as flight attendants, aspiring flight attendants, frequent travelers. If you have questions though, pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to get to them now. Or like I said, Laura will either answer them later or we'll probably do another video. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. There she is. Hello, Dr. Laura. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me? Let's check my mic. Are we good?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep, we can hear you. Okay, good. So welcome. Laura is actually, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a formal intro because Laura and I have actually been friends in real life for about 7 years. So we met at a Bible study. So before Emily Grace was born, and she has a child that's just about the same age. We actually have children. She has 4, I have 3, so she has more than me. But we had our first 3 pretty much at the same time, kind of. Or was Emily Grace already born?
Yeah.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. I'm like, which child was I pregnant with? Because I was pregnant. You were the same way. Like, you're pregnant for like the last 35 years of our life, right? Yeah, pretty much straight. So I'm like, I don't remember which one it was. But yeah, so we met. And one thing that really, really drew me to Laura was she has just a very, very sweet personality. I love that because people use lots of really nice words to describe me, but sweet is never one of them. You know, she's fun, she's outgoing, she's big, she's bold, she's vivacious, whatever. But they're never like, Abbie is so sweet. Like, that's just not a thing. So, you know, neither one is good or bad necessarily. They're both good, you know, but that's one thing that really drew me to you is because you just have such a sweet countenance that there's just something that's very attractive about that. Of course, you know, it feels safe and it's just very it's just very nice. You're just a very sweet lady. So I really love that about you. And then of course our relationship has grown from just, meeting her and knowing she's a nice girl, to being more friends and staying in contact even with my move. Laura lives in the low country of South Carolina. Her husband works for Boeing, which I had 2 Boeing jokes so that I was going to tell, but I don't know if I'm going to tell both. So I'll just tell one, and it's just the one. I think I said this to you. My favorite one is like, if it's not Boeing, I ain't going.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah, so that's a good one. I'm not going to say an ugly one. Yeah. No, we love Boeing. We love Boeing. We love Airbus. There's some Airbus lovers too, probably on the live stream. But as a Southwest family, we're of course definitely Team Boeing. But I'm going to let Laura kind of introduce herself now and give us a little bit of background on the more I guess, formal resume type background as to who she is and what brought her to this point.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. That was a crazy introduction. Thank you so much. You have been so gracious to me to allow me to come on this platform. I love teaching. That's one of the reasons I became a pharmacist. I felt called to teach. That's why I homeschool my children. Are we good? Are we good? Making sure.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. That's why I homeschool my children. My husband and I teach parenting classes. I love to teach. So anyway, for me, this is fun, especially when I'm home all day with 4 children. To get to come and talk to adults is fun. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for real.
We'll stay on earrings probably in I don't know how long. So anyway, yeah. But thank you, Abbie. So as Abbie said, I have 4 children, ages 6.5 months to 9. I have 2 children in heaven. That is a whole nother story. But I worked as a retail pharmacist for 10 years before I decided that the Lord was calling me to stay at home, quit a successful career. We had to sell our house to do it. I sold my car to do it. I gave up TV, internet, all that kind of stuff to stay at home. So that's what I've been doing. And then about 3 years ago, I was just kind of sick of not being able to meet grocery budgets and travel. My husband and I love to travel. We traveled several trips before the kids were born. One of our favorite trips was to Africa. But anyways, I just found myself in a place where I was sick of not just having extra, but not wanting to leave my family to do it. So anyway, that's why I do this job now from home. I'm a pharmacist with Rodan and Fields. I'm a consultant. What else? I don't know if you want to know about, if you have any personal issues and want to get in touch with me regarding child loss, that is the whole thing that I was talking about before. But I just feel like the Lord has called me to teach. So I'm going to do that. My husband works at Boeing. He's an engineer. I live in Charleston. We said that. I got my doctorate from the Medical University of South Carolina, 2005, however many years ago that was. And after that, and now I'm here. So,
Okay, well, I want to know about, so you mentioned Africa. So when did you go to Africa? Tell us just a little bit about that. So do you remember what airline you flew? No? That's what I'm always curious. I'm like, who'd you fly? What was the service like? That's okay if you don't remember. But so how long did you go to Africa for?
Yes, so we did that in 2008. It was kind of like a graduation present 3 years later to myself.
Nice.
Finishing school, and I'd always wanted we have a heart for Africa. Side note, we have a water filtration unit in Africa at a school in memory of our 2 children that are in heaven. But I just always have a heart for Africa, so I wanted to go there on a safari. So we did that. We went to Tanzania and Kenya. Our hope is that whenever we retire, we will get to do something like that full time, providing safe water. But I don't. I probably would remember the airline if I hadn't had so many major life issues happen after that.
Well, if it's not your thing too, if it's not, well, do you remember what airport you flew out of?
I know coming back, Atlanta was not good.
Okay, so she flew Delta, y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
No,
Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam and then Nairobi. Yeah, and then we took a little pedal jumper, whatever you call it. Is that what you call it? Yeah, a little plane.
Regional jet,
yeah, to get to one the rural area for the safety study. We visited that and all kind of stuff. So.
Oh my gosh, cool. I haven't been to Africa yet. That's definitely on my list, because that'll be a new continent, so that I can, of course, hopefully before I die, not hopefully, I'm going to go to all 7 of them. So that's one. I still have to add Australia too, and then Antarctica.
I was just going to say Antarctica. We just finished that in our homeschool study. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to go probably as a family when the kids are a little older, when they can really, we get our most bang for the buck, about remembering everything.
Yes.
But
right.
You're right. And maybe when they can all bathe themselves too, or put their clothes on. Maybe that's when we'll go to the frozen tundra. Good. Cool. Well, good. Awesome. So I'm going to so the first thing that we were going to talk about, so now we're going to dive into the teaching part.
Okay.
Why is skincare important?
Sure. So that's great, Abbie. It's great to start with something broad. Most people might know these points, but I feel like, that's an appropriate question to start out with. So why is skincare important? Well, your skin is the body's largest organ. So some people might know that, some people might not. So I'll say that again. The skin is the body's largest organ. So obviously you want to take care of your organs, right? So the skin acts as a protective barrier. It regulates your body temperature. It acts as a filter. It's affected from every aspect of our lives, including what you eat, what you drink, where you live. Obviously, we know the occupation, is affected by your skin is by your occupation. So we want to strive for healthy skin, obviously because it's an organ, but because it's able to better fight off the signs of aging. Okay, your skin can heal much faster when your skin is healthy. It can prevent potential diseases. So the skin is a big deal. So that's something that I don't know that young people, like when I was in high school and a teenager, I don't know that I knew that. And if I did, I would have done things a lot different. So we need to get the word out there. Your skin is important. It's an organ. You have to take care of it, just like you would your heart. So
yeah, and I think that's a good point too, because like you said, that it really is almost like a medical point of view. It's about staying healthy just as much as it is about looking good. Because when I hear skincare, I know like when we announced this, someone posted like, wear sunscreen and drink water. It's not that hard. Which I get that. Yes, like that's the basic. Like if you're gonna do 2 things, like you're gonna drink water and skincare, I would agree that those would be top. You probably would agree too. But it's more than that. That's like saying, for a healthy heart, it's like, go for a walk sometimes and, don't eat a hamburger. Like it's so much more than that. And we're all different. And as we age, it's different. And as we have different, external pollutants, it's different. Like you can't just say it's simple. So I know that your company has simplified the process because they've done the hard work. But skincare really is something like picking a diet plan that works for you or picking an exercise regimen that works for you. And sometimes we do a lot and sometimes we do a little, but looking to the experts, I feel like it's one of those things you look to the experts to say, okay, just tell me what to do based on what I need. So that someone who like went to school and is way smarter can like figure it out and be like, here's your plan. So I love that we're kind of starting with that too, because I think it's more than just, vanity as far as health, as far as skincare goes. So, so the next thing on my little list is for daily habits. This one I'm excited about. So daily habits, things with people with great skin do. Good. This is what I want to know. So get your pins out, y'all. Okay. So these are things that we do every day to have good skin.
Right. So we already mentioned one, but I'm going to give some cool little facts about it. Obviously water, right? So your body doesn't function as well, even with just a small amount of dehydration. My mailbox is coming up right now. Sorry. Okay. So how do you know if you need water? And I bet you've never had somebody on a webinar say this, Abbie, but the way that you know if your body's dehydrated or if you're getting enough water is by the color of your urine. So we want So we want it to be pale yellow, like the pale lemonade. And this is super, super important because water can kill you. If you drink too much water, that's a medical emergency. And don't ask me how I know that. I'll tell you that later. But So it's important to find the right balance. You can overdo it, but most people lean towards they're a little bit dehydrated. So we want to make sure we're hydrated. Use your body's thirst mechanism as a guide and the color of your urine. Obviously, you got to drink more when you exercise, before, during, after. When you're out in the sun and the heat, you have to drink more. So I'm done with, that's all I wanted to tell you about water for now. Second, everybody pretty much knows this, but you have to have a balanced diet. So your skin is an organ. It needs vitamins and minerals, and it's going to get that from healthy fruits, healthy vegetables, lean protein, those sort of things. Move on. Sunscreen, like you already mentioned. So I could probably do a whole webinar on sunscreen. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Yay!
So the most important product to wear every day is sunscreen. But did you know that it's important to wear it even when you're not going outside? So wear it when you're indoors only. Obviously, when you're outside, wear it when it's raining, wear it when it's shining, wear it on your chest, your neck, your arms, your hand, not just your face. So seek shade when you're in the sun. Wear a pretty wide-brimmed hat. Wear big sunglasses. I don't want to go too much into this, but there's differences in sunscreen. There's chemical sunscreens, there's physical sunscreens. We can talk more about that later. If you're interested, just let me know. There's a difference in the type of rays, obviously, that the sun emits and things like that. I do want to mention that the Skin Cancer Foundation has a seal of recommendation to sun protection products. Specifically my company, they've all been awarded this, but you can go to skincancer.org and just kind of go there and see what products have been given their seal. They only grant that seal to products that have met stringent criteria. They've provided scientific data. They can demonstrate that their products are not only safe, but they sufficiently help with the prevention of sun damage to the skin. So I want to finish up sunscreen, then we'll move on. But just know that the number one way to decrease the risk of wrinkles, sagging, aged skin, and of course skin cancer, right, is sunscreen. And don't forget sunscreen on your lips.
Good. Yeah. And about the water thing. So I want to go back to the water thing just for a minute, because that is one thing that is super important, especially for travelers and flight attendants, because a couple reasons. Well, first of all, with the urine thing, when this is a quick story. When Jason and I were at, when we had the shoe company, we were at the Southwest Flight Attendant Crew Base selling flight attendant shoes. And in the bathrooms, they had a little chart that had the colors and your urine, because Phoenix, I mean, of course, it's so hot, and I imagine they were having issues with dehydration. So it was for the rampers. It wasn't just a flight attendant bathroom. It was actually an employee bathroom. So the rampers and everyone who was out in the sun. But, to speak to that, like, you're like, we probably never say that. But yeah, so like Southwest as a company even is providing information to employees to make sure that we're staying hydrated. And it's just like you said, it had different colors, and then based on the color of your urine, it would tell you, like, drink some more water, you're doing good, which I thought was kind of funny. And then also, as far as, even though flight attendants are not always in the sun all the time, if we're working and things like that, on the airplane, the air is not conditioned the same way it is. It's not humidified the same way that it is just on the ground. And also, when you're in a pressurized cabin, it's usually pressurized to 8,000 feet, which if you live on the ground, like Laura and I both, even though I'm in Hawaii and she's in Charleston, we're both probably about a half a foot below sea level right now. So if we're going to be on an airplane, that's an 8,000. It's like we're being at the top of a mountain automatically, which means less oxygen for your blood to oxygenate, and your blood gets thinner. So dehydration can come really quickly when you are on an airplane because of those two environmental one environmental thing with it's two. It's the air and the pressurization. It just can completely throw you off. So that's why drinking enough water is really important. And let me ask you a question. So I know you mentioned you could be overhydrated. Is that usually due to drug use, though? It's not usually, you're not going to be on an airplane and drink so much water that you have to go to the hospital, right?
So the majority of cases that we see are people that are not eating enough salt, because some people think, I don't want to eat too much salt, I'm on a salt restricted diet, but they're chugging water.
Okay.
Their electrolytes are just tanking.
Oh, okay.
So it's called water intoxication. If your sodium plummets, it can cause death. So,
right. But if you're eating an airplane meal, which is probably over sodiumed, you're probably going to be fine. Right.
Yes. And you would know if you're chugging and you're not thirsty, just don't do that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. I just wanted to kind of like mention that that's like a really big deal. Like, I mean, that's super rare. Like, you're not going to accidentally drink too much water while you're working.
Correct.
Yeah. Good. Okay, cool. Good. So I love that. So after sunscreen, was that the 3 habits? So drinking plenty of water, wearing sunscreen every day, and eating as balanced as you can eat. So eating great when you have great choices, eating as good as possible when you have mediocre choices, things like that, right?
Yes, because your skin needs those vitamins and minerals. And we actually have a new regimen. I'll talk about all this later. Just this was a perfect point to introduce it. For people whose diet might not be that great. So it's like,
that's perfect. Because we're so limited with, even like if you're working flights out of the country, even if you're working turns, you can't take vegetables, fruits and vegetables through customs, things like that. So sometimes we're limited. I say we as frequent travelers and flight attendants are limited as to what we can even pack or have access to. So even though you're doing the best you can and we're all taking a vitamin, there are sometimes when you just literally don't have the access to just eat fruits and vegetables every day, all day, kind of thing. Even coming to Hawaii, you can't bring fruits and vegetables in. You have to throw them out and then buy new when you get here. So, okay, good. Well, good. So I'm glad that you have a skincare answer for that too, since it's not always a possibility for us. Cool. Okay, so next we're going to talk about proper skincare. Yeah. So tell us how to take care of our skin.
Yeah, so it's going to be, this is simple, but it's pretty interesting. So we have to cleanse our skin properly. So some people might not know that you do not want to use hot water. So our skin needs moisture to survive, and hot water just sucks the moisture from our skin. It also can make your skin obviously redder and drier because it dilates blood vessels. So don't use very hot water, but at the same token, don't use very cold water. Use lukewarm. So my tip there is use lukewarm water. Warm water can also help loosen any oil that's gotten in pores. Once you get that out, the pores will appear smaller. So that was my part about the temperature. But I also want to say, and everybody's heard this, but you know what? A lot of people don't do it. You got to wash your face every night. Face every night. I mean, you got to wash your face, right? You got to wash your face.
I'm so bad about that.
We have good solutions for that. But how do we want to wash our face? Well, every day, like you already said, Abbie, our skin is exposed to pollution. We already talked about the bus fumes and all that kind of stuff. It's going right on your skin. Bacteria, sweat, grime, makeup, all of that stuff does not belong on your skin, especially at night, and it doesn't belong on your pillows. You have to wash your face, but you don't want to scrub your face. So avoid overzealous scrubbing, wash your face, use lukewarm water. That's my proper skincare right there.
Okay, good. So it sounds like even if you're not, if it's not a makeup day or whatever, it's still important to cleanse your face every day. Right. Even if you just Netflixed and chilled on reserve all day, you still need to cleanse your face.
Yeah. Okay. So this speaks to a lot of men, right? For example, I probably need to have a conversation with my husband. Like, we probably should start doing what I'm trying to tell people. You need to wash your face.
Right. Which is not the same as letting the shampoo run down the front of your face.
Right.
That's how this is face. Yeah. Or, shave. And so that's half their face. Right. But, okay. Yeah. That's true.
And I could do a whole webinar just on men's skin and shaving and all that kind of stuff. I've got lots of good info. We can chat about that later.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Okay, so washing your face. Next is sleep. So let's talk a little bit about sleep. This is a big one because we're changing time zones all the time. We're sleeping at different times. We're trying to go to bed early. We're trying to sleep in late. And there's all sorts of different things. So sleep, help us.
Right. And so this kind of ties into why you need to wash your face before you sleep. Well, the reason is because when you sleep, your skin is repairing itself and it's rejuvenating itself when you sleep. So I know, you're doing the best that you can. So obviously sleep is important, but I just wanted to mention that it's actually important for the skin too.
Okay, good. I have someone cutting the grass outside, so hopefully that's not going to be super distracting. One thing that I kind of like, it goes hand in hand with the washing your face, is one thing that I try to tell new flight attendants, one of the tips I have is to have a routine. So we know this like with babies, you know, like if you start to get them into a little bit of a routine, then when you start that routine, your body, it's like Pavlov's dogs, you know, your body starts to respond to that. So, you know, when you wash your face, if you're washing your face before you go to sleep every night, then when you have to go to sleep at 5:30 in the afternoon to wake up at 3, when you start to wash your face, your body is going to start to get in that mode. So you got your music on, you do your meditation, you wash your face, turn on Law and Order, and there you go. Now you've got your Law and Order's playing like 24/7. So I feel like that's something that every flight attendant's always watching. It's like on it literally 24/7. You can watch Law and Order no matter what time of day. So you put that on, and now you're kind of your body starts to get ready to go to sleep, which is a key for preventing jet lag or addressing jet lag. You can't really prevent it. You're just trying to manage it. So I think that's another reason why washing your face every night before bed can kind of aid in the sleep as well. So that's just my little bonus tip. Exercise. What about exercise? How is exercise?
Yeah, so obviously we all know that exercise is good, right? So how does that relate to skin? Well, it increases the circulation, right? It can get rid of toxins. All of those things can actually your skin. Yeah, can clear up your skin is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so clearer, firmer skin can be seen through exercise. And obviously it boosts your mood, it relieves your stress, right. You know, all that kind of stuff too. So that's exercise.
Oh, wow. So because you're sweating through your face, basically, not to be indelicate, because that is helping to remove the toxins and things like that. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah. I never really thought about it that way, honestly, y'all. Hands off. I think this is a new one. Not a new one. It's one that don't touch your face has always been a thing, but recently it's like a really big deal. So for obvious reasons, we probably all kind of know that one, just because as we've learned with the coronavirus, even though we knew before, it was a much better, more literal picture that you can be picking up things. And so, like you said, your skin is your biggest organ. So if you're touching your face, I mean, you may not get corona through your cheek, but you are putting germ and dirt onto your face. Yeah, it can be almost a life-saving measure at this point, which is kind of crazy to think in a skincare talk that we're having these conversations, but it is true. Exfoliate regularly. Tell me what regularly means.
Yeah, so you can exfoliate too much, so we don't want to do that. And we want to use a gentle exfoliator, and we'll talk about that, but 3 times a week would be great. We'll get into our products later, but a lot of our products have gentle exfoliators in them. But just know, exfoliating regularly is a good thing to do to get rid of the dense skin cells, obviously. Yeah. So that means brighter, smoother skin.
Okay, good. So it depends kind of like what which products you're choosing to use. Some people, are you saying that sometimes you would need to exfoliate like extra as an extra step, but then some products like your products have that little exfoliation built in, so we're not needing to add it in, or we just do it like on self-care day?
It just kind of depends on the level of exfoliation. Some of our products for twice daily use have a gentle exfoliation that is appropriate, but we also have something that's appropriate for 1 to 3 times a week in addition, and I use both.
Okay, so either way, which is amazing. So like if I'm just washing my face, girl, like we're not adding anything else, these products will still reach that sort of gentle exfoliation. You'll still be doing what you're supposed to be doing, even if you're not. That's amazing. I love that. And then moisturize daily. This is a big one. For me, I've always had dry skin. It's better here in Hawaii where we have no air conditioning and kind of a moderate humidity all the time. But yeah, so talk a little bit about moisturization.
Right. So this is neat, and it's, I think, maybe a little bit misunderstood. So as you age, your natural moisture levels decrease. That just happens as a natural part of aging. So when your skin is over dry, I don't know if Abbie, if you've experienced this. So when your skin is over dry, it can obviously become irritated, but it can start over producing oil. So you can have oily skin, but it's dehydrated. You know what I mean? So there are two different things going in place there. So you need a hydrator and you need a moisturizer, which we'll talk about. But I just want to drive that point home. If your skin is oily, that doesn't mean that you don't need a moisturizer and a hydrator.
This guy is right outside my window. So go ahead and move on to the next point. I'm going to mute myself again.
Okay, let's see. And it wasn't bad, Abbie. It's all good. Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay, so next we're going to go and talk about Rodan and Fields. So that's the company that you have chosen to partner with. As a pharmacist, you know, you had plenty of choices, access to all sorts of stuff. You also know everything that's in the drugstore. So you've chosen to partner with Rodan and Fields. So why are they different than some of the other products that you probably experimented with or even sold to customers in the past?
Okay, so I don't know if most people know this, but have you ever heard, like back in the day, probably Abbie, when you and I were like in our early 20s, there was Proactive. And Proactive was the amazing acne brand then. Now there is a Proactive now. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about way back the first. So those are the doctors of Rodan and Fields. What they did is, you know, Proactive was a multi-billion-dollar acne product, but they said, well, our goal is to treat more than just acne. So they sold Proactive. It has now changed. And Rodan and Fields is the name of their legacy company. Okay, so their goal was to say, what do we see in the dermatologist's office? What can I offer people at home? So that's the mission of the company. That's why they do this. So, because they said people should not have to go to the dermatologist. By the way, they have a 2-year waiting list if you want to go see them in California. You know, people should have access to the right skincare to address their needs. So this is based on people's needs, not like skin type. I'll explain that a little bit later. I just wanted to bring that out there. This is a results-based company. So let's talk a little bit about their history. So what they did is they started at high-end department stores, ones I've probably never been to before. So they started at high-end department stores selling their line called Rodan and Fields. They became the #1 skincare line at high-end department stores. But they were kind of like, are we reaching the public by doing this? Our vision is to have everybody have access to this. Well, how many people go to like Neiman Marcus? You know what I mean? So they pulled out and they decided to become a direct sales company. Since that decision, they are now the #1. It's the #1 skincare brand in North America. And the reason that they did that is because they know that word of mouth is the best advertising. And so that's the route that they chose. And so after I quit being a retail pharmacist to stay at home with my kids, I kind of started getting these messages and started, you know, seeing things, Rodan and Fields. And I sort of kind of remembered that was Proactive back in the day, but I'm just like, that's not for me. I'm not sure. I'm getting all these weird messages. You know what I mean? What's that about? You know, MLMs have kind of gotten a negative, there's just negativity surrounding them. And I would say rightly so. A lot of businesses have not probably done the best, you know, just the way they go about things probably have not done the best things. And those businesses are probably out of business now. But yeah. I will tell you that our doctors, they're world known for their reputation. They would not associate their name with something that's like, you know, weird or just sketchy, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I understand, because I was one of them, the negativity surrounding MLMs and direct sales, because I would get weird messages from people too. I'm like, what? Okay. And you just ignore, you know what I mean? But I do want people to know that we strive to mirror our doctor's reputation. They basically said, here are the products. Word of mouth is best. You go and you teach and you educate. And that's what I do as a consultant. I am not here to convince anybody. I'm here to provide information. I'm a resource. There you go. So I just wanted to mention that because Yeah.
Well, you know, we got some pushback in the Facebook group, you know, because it's like MLM, which MLM and like the way that the products are sold are different than the products. So the reason that Laura's here today, if of course, if you're interested in doing what she's doing, she would love to talk with you about it, because it is a business that came in at just the right time for her family and has been super helpful for them to reach their goals. But the real reason that I have Laura here, honestly, is just to meet our skincare goals. So, you know, however you feel about MLMs, I found someone who, not I found, Laura and I know each other. I chose Laura because I get those, hey girl DMs all day, every day too, from all different companies. The reason that I partnered with Laura, or I told Laura that she could come and partner with Flight Attendant Career Connection, is because I know that she will not make y'all feel uncomfortable. Basically, like there will not be any hard sell. There will not be anything that makes you feel uncomfortable or like you've let her down, or like now you have to respond to all these messages about like, you know, blah, blah, blah. If you knew for sure that you could make $1 bazillion in 35 minutes, how would you turn that down? You're dumb, you know, because I get messages like that all the time. So that's part of the reason. So, you know, if you are interested in starting a business and you are interested in being an entrepreneur, and you like skincare, I recommend you asking Laura for a phone call, because she is low pressure and she will answer your questions. And if this is not the right fit, then she could either point you in the right direction, or you could circle back around to me and we can talk about travel blogging, whatever it is. But the products, Rodan and Fields, the reputation of the actual skincare is exceptional. Whether you like MLMs or not, should not change your opinion of Rodan and Fields as a product line. And that's why we're here. That's part of the reason I let her come on, because it's not about the model, and it's not about how you get them, and it's not about how you order, and it's not about all of that. I know, because I've never heard a bad thing about the products, that they are a really good solution for us. So I wanted to say that too. You know, MLMs kind of aside, the products are amazing. So whether you like MLM or not, you can just pretend you're ordering it from Amazon if that makes you feel better. You know, like, and it'll just show up at your door the same way your Amazon stuff does. You know, so it's kind of two different things. And of course, we want to address it because, like Laura said, she's aware of the fact that there have been some people that have been unethical in their sales. But I mean, we know that in aviation too. Like there have been some companies that have been unethical in their treatment of flight attendants. There was a long time where you got weighed before every trip. Like there's junk in every industry. So, you know, that's part of the reason we're talking about it, because we're not surprised that people are like, clutch my pearls over it. But what we're saying is that's not what this is about. So don't get distracted about the fact that this is the best skincare that you can get. Correct?
Correct. So how in the world did a pharmacist find herself in this like direct sales company? I want to mention that because in the, you know, all I had seen, I was you know, kind of like, I'm not exactly sure what that is, you know, whatever, until I had reached out to some of my former pharmacist mentors saying, hey, I'm sick of not having any money. I don't want to come back to work, but I need money. Can I come and work maybe one shift a month or whatever? And they said, you do not want to come back to work. I'm not going to mention the place that we're, you know, the pharmacy isn't due, but let me show you what we are doing. And they said Rodan and Fields. And I was like, excuse me, what are you talking about? And so then when I actually took a look, Rodan and Fields products are very parallel to what I was already dispensing in the pharmacy.
Wow.
Recognized all the ingredients. I knew that just looking at it was top notch. That was my wheelhouse. And I was like, you guys are doing this? And they're corporate pharmacists, you know, high up in the ladder. I said, well, shoot, I'm going to be doing this too then. You know, if that's the way that I can serve people and I know what stuff is, I know that it works, I know that it's actually better than what I dispensed in the pharmacy, sign me up. And so that's kind of how I got into it. I know, sorry, my baby's crying if you can hear him. Daddy's
okay, good.
The reason that I say this is better and I feel ethically better doing this than I did as a pharmacist are for two things. Number one, when you get a prescription product that's for your skin, it's usually a harsh ingredient. It's one thing that you put on your skin. It may not work. It's got side effects, that kind of thing. So what they did, you know, these are the top dermatologists, world known. They took stuff that they knew that worked. They have something that's called multi-med therapy. That means we layer certain ingredients. It's not one harsh thing. We layer them in a certain order at a certain concentration, which has less side effects and it's more effective. So acne is my thing. I love acne. Remember, we are the I don't like the actual problem of acne.
I love acne.
Because it changes people so much, and I feel so good about it. Our brand is the #1 acne brand. You've never seen anything like it before. That is one thing I will, just preach on, get on my soapbox forever. And maybe we'll do another acne talk sometime, Abbie. I've got such good, hacks or, things that are not true. Anyway, about that. But I have no idea where I was going with that. Yeah. So that's where I found myself.
So it sounds like, so is the correct pharmaceutical word, it's like a compound? Is that right? Is that like, how like some pharmacies will like put together a compound, like there's like one in Charleston that you have to go to Pitt Street to like get the compound? No? Yeah. Is that kind of what they've done?
I'm with you. So everything is kind of compound. It's just their formula. This is their compound of what they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they've kind of done it for you instead of getting like just retin A and then blah, 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 and then vitamin E and like you're like just smearing. They just put it all together and then said put it in this order. Perfect. Okay, cool.
They went a step further. Rodan and Fields is the only skincare company that is FDA reviewed. So what that means is they had to prove that it's safe and had to prove that it works. Everybody else can make all kinds of claims that are not true. But because they chose to be FDA reviewed, they cannot make claims that they did not already prove. So I feel good.
Wow.
This does work. It is safe, but not everything is always 100% for 100% of the people. That's just true with, these are drugs. And so they put a 60-day money-back guarantee on everything. I couldn't do that in the pharmacy. So I just really liked that. People would say, this cream, it caused me to break, whatever, redness. Can I return it? It was $120 in the pharmacy. I'm so sorry. No, you cannot return it. All of this stuff you can always return. So I like that.
Good. I think it's time for you to really dive into the products that you're recommending for us based on our needs. And I love that. I just want to say too, I love the FDA aspect to it because like this morning you're going to die because I don't have Rodan and Fields stuff yet. It's on the way. So I'm going to be giving y'all an actual review once I get it. But I put this serum on this morning and I got it at like TJ Maxx and it's unicorn glitter serum is like what it's called. And of course it didn't turn me into a unicorn. So I can see why their claim is not, but I like it because it's got like this cool reflective thing for video, but I imagine that, but I love the FDA thing because I'm probably too old to be putting like unicorn serum on my face. I'm probably lucky it didn't like rot my skin off or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty resilient, but okay. So now tell me what we need, especially if you're like me and you're still buying unicorn serum at the TJ Maxx. So basically I know that you kind of like handpicked a line. So explain to us what it is, why it's best for travelers.
Okay, so I want to mention this is a very simple business. All the words come out, all these things. I don't want anybody to get confused. This is a very simple business based on what you're looking for as far as results. So it's based on your skincare concern. So what you do is start out by you take a solution tool. It's on my website. Abbie will show everybody that. You take a solution tool. It's from the doctors. It tells you what you need to start with based on your top concern. I want to mention that our stuff is for male, female, all ages, all ethnicities, okay? So that's really important to me. I just wanted to throw that in there. So that gives you your regimen. That's the skincare tool gives you your regimen. So that's a place to start. Now, what the heck is a regimen? Okay. Yeah. So for example, say your primary skincare concern is acne. I'll show you Unblemished. So a regimen means it's usually 3 to 4 steps. For example, Unblemished starts with a wash and then a toner. This is what I'm talking about multi-med therapy of layering the ingredients. I'll go kind of fast. There's always a treatment. This is the Unblemished treatment. And then there's always a specific sunscreen at the end, okay? And so we have regimens for hyperpigmentation, for dark spots, for dull skin. We have the #1 anti-aging regimen called Redefine. The acne line is #1. We have a teen and young adult acne line. We have, for people that have sensitive skin, like red, itchy, that kind of skin concerns, we have a Soothe line. But what's super cool is, I kind of mentioned this earlier, we do have a new Recharge line, and it's to defend against the pollution stuff I talked about. is to defend against the bad food, late night stress. So that's kind of cool. But the most important part is to take the solution tool to see what is recommended first. It just takes the guesswork out, like you said before. Just tell me what I need. I don't want to go and do all this research. You know, they've done all that for you.
Okay, cool. So and I took the quiz, and it was like 5 or 7 questions or something like that. So, but another thing that I kind of want to talk about is price, because I know that another thing that Rodan and Fields has a reputation for is it's expensive. But, you know, and if you're buying unicorn glitter serum for $2.99 at TJ Maxx, then I totally get that, which is me, right? That's what I do. But that doesn't mean that our, you know, we should be comparing it to the unicorn glitter serum. So there's actually one thing I was surprised, as Laura and I talked before off camera, is that there's really is sort of a price spread. So they're known for being expensive. It costs hundreds of dollars. And yes, you could spend hundreds of dollars, but more than likely, if that's you, if you're going to go all the way in, you probably are already spending hundreds of dollars at your dermatologist. So you're just going to be replacing it and maybe even saving money. Because I don't like to use the word expensive for things, because we all have a different baseline as to what we think is a lot of money or what something is worth. So if you're currently got those prescriptions, like you were talking about, $150 for the creams and things, this may be a better option for you and save you money. But then if you are going from unicorn glitter, it will be an increase. But so basically what I'm trying to get to is each regiment, I almost said regime, each regiment is priced different based on the number of steps in it. Is that kind of how it is? Or is it the actual chemicals and the products in it? Kind of. So some ingredients are more expensive. So that makes sense. So the one that you were just telling us about, Recharge, which is a really great introductory, meets a lot of needs that we were talking about with pollution and things like that. What does that one start at?
So that's about 120. So there's 3 pricing tiers. So
okay.
There's retail price, there's preferred customer price, and then there's a price as a consultant price that you can buy if you're
okay.
Right. So I don't want people to misunderstand and say, well, let me get the cheapest regimen, you know what I mean? Because if that's not the result that you're looking for, then you're just wasting your money, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you have acne, we need to tackle that.
Okay.
So that's why that's important. But yeah, Recharge is only 3 steps. It is the most inexpensive regimen. But actually, Spotless is the most inexpensive, but that's for teen and young adult acne. And then Recharge is the next one up.
Okay. All right. So, because I mean, we want to be budget conscious too, especially right now. I mean, you know, with COVID and everything like that, we've got flight attendants. There's not a lot of hiring. We've got some that are facing furlough, some that are not, though. So, we're all kind of in a different place. So as far as budget goes, they need to do the tool, and then they could work with you, and you could say, all right, this is the one that you need. This is the regiment. And then they say, this is my budget. And you can say, okay, here's how we make it work for your budget. Is that part of what you can do?
I do that all the time. I love that. Please do not spend money. If you're questioning something, I can point you in the right direction of what you're going to get the bigger bang for your buck first.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So if you needed to buy every piece or something like that over 6 months, you could do it that way. So it's not like, you sign up and now every 2 months you're auto charged $120 and here comes all these products to your house. So that's another thing that I think people are sometimes surprised that you don't have to just buy the whole kit and caboodle. You could just say, I just need an eye cream right now. And you're like, here's the eye cream that is best for you. Okay, so I see what you mean. So that's why just saying like going with Recharge may not be the best, even though on paper it sometimes looks like it could maybe fit our needs. There might be something that someone's struggling with that they could use a different product. So what is the number one product? Let's say we can get one product. What would you recommend?
Okay, so I want to talk about this, hydration. We already talked about it with the water and all that kind of stuff. And I know attendants, hydration is a big issue. Well, real quick, did I mention about the caffeine? Like, go easy on the caffeine. The caffeine can exacerbate the look. Did I say? I can't remember if I said that.
No, but we kind of know, but we don't.
Yeah, really. So sugar actually can accelerate aging because it binds to collagen. Yeah, so sugar, caffeine, makes it look whatever. Coconut water is great for electrolytes. But anyways, I said before that you need to make sure that you hydrate and moisturize. So that's 2 different things. Well, we have a solution. If you do anything else, our hydration is unprecedented. What we did is we created a new molecule to the planet. We added it to 30% glycerin, which is no one's ever done 30% glycerin. I know this is a lot of science talk, but I just wanted to drive the point home that our hydration is unparalleled. This is it. It's called active hydration serum. I have people buying 4 bottles of this at a time. Like, they panic if they run out. It's a complete game changer. You can add it into your regimen. So when your skin, there we go. When your skin is hydrated, you go from looking like a raisin, right? Like sunken, lines dry, to a grape. When your skin is hydrated, it can better receive products. So if you're buying anything and your skin is not hydrated, it's not even receiving your products. So that's wasting money there. Anyway, yeah. So this is active hydration serum. It's for the face. Absolutely. Every that needs that. But people, when we came out with this, people said, I need to jump in it, like my arms, my legs. I want to douse this over my body. Well, the body on your face is different than the body on your, the skin on your face is different than the skin on your body. Thank you. Because, the skin on your body is thicker. It has a slower cell turnover rate. So we have this is our hydration for the body.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then, oh gosh, I do want to mention some drugstore stuff too, remind me. But anyway, Phoebe had asked on your Facebook group about dark circles. So I wanted to shout out, if you hear me, you can go to my website, give me your email. I'm going to send you something. You specifically asked about dark circles. So as we age, the skin around our eyes becomes thinner and the exposed capillaries underneath can cause a bluish undertone. So that's just one type of a dark circle. A lot of people, it's actually linked to genetics. Obviously, others are rubbing their eyes too much and it causes dark circles. Sometimes people have inflammatory skin diseases that can cause that. Weight loss, aging can do all of that. So anyways, avoid tugging your eyes and doing all that kind of stuff. But what they found out was that when you add hydration to bruises, it made the color, like the black and blue color, decrease. And so that's why they came out with hydration for the eyes, for the dark circles. So that helps with, this is called, here we go, bright eye complex. It helps with puffiness, stressed, fatigued eyes, and dark circles. So I just wanted to show you that. That is our hydration line, unparalleled. For sure, flight attendants need to look into that.
So if we can only do one thing, so even though we know, washing your face is important, you should be doing that with whatever you can afford at this point, washing your face. But if you're ready to invest and can invest in one thing, it needs to be hydration. Is that?
So it either needs to be hydration or it needs to be this. So this is our new Recharge Detox Mask. So remember when we were talking about pollutants and all that kind of stuff? This is amazing. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite mask. This is what you need just to get rid of all of that junk after the end of your day, for sure. It's got volcanic sand in it, which is super charcoal, but it also rehydrates. So you've got the hydration plus the removing of pollutants. I absolutely adore it. So one of those two things for sure.
Okay, and then for the serum, let me ask you some questions about the serum. So is it one that you could press in over your makeup after several hours? No, it's not one of those. Okay. Do you have any ideas, maybe even a drugstore thing or something for, I know especially when I was flying too, because I do have dry skin, I would hydrate my entire body from top to bottom with very thick cream before I got on the airplane, before I put my pantyhose on, before I got on the airplane, because otherwise my lower back would feel tight when I would bend over and stuff, like my skin. So I know that starting out is the best way to be comfortable during the flight, but also after you've been in the air for 10 hours or so, what are your thoughts and ideas, inside or outside, Rodan and Fields, that to kind of refresh your makeup or refresh your look?
So here's the thing. So this raises hydration 200%. Okay. So you can put it on over your makeup. Traditionally with Rodan and Fields, we don't wear makeup. We have a makeup replacement. I can talk about that later. Somebody actually, Sydney had a question about makeup. Sydney, if you're listening, email me. I'm going to send you something regarding your question. And
makeup is a uniform requirement for flight attendants.
Right. So ours looks like makeup.
Okay.
But it's skincare.
You have to wear blush, lipstick, and mascara are required for most companies.
Yes, I'm talking about foundation replacement.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. So anyway, you could, but this lasts. So I don't know that you would need to, is my point.
Okay, I see what you mean. So you're saying that that's so amazing that you maybe wouldn't need to refresh it at the end of 12, 16 hours on the plane. So we'll try it out. We'll see. Plus, if you're drinking your water and things like that, I'm curious to know, I don't know, because I know lots of serums that people, have talked about and stuff in the group are ones that they kind of will just press on sort of to refresh. So I'm curious if maybe it would work. I know it's not traditionally made for that, but that dry air is pretty dry for a while, but good. So what about, there were some drugstore products because, your background is in the drugstore and Rodan and Fields may not be accessible to everyone today. So what I had asked you to bring us some of your best favorites drugstore.
Yeah. So for one thing, where is it? Well, anyway, I brought it. Don't know where it is. It's the baby's cream. So have you heard of Aquaphor? Everybody needs Aquaphor. Okay. Yeah. So Aquaphor, I always have on hand. So number one, bacteria cannot grow in Aquaphor, so it's great to put on little cuts and scrapes and things like that.
Wow. No idea. Yes. I have no idea.
I always use it on my kids' cheeks when they're chapped, that kind of thing. Yeah. You can use it as a lip balm. Of course, it doesn't have SPF, just FYI. You can put it like on your nails if you've got, really dry. The only problem is that it's greasy, right? So, but that's an alternative. That's the best alternative. All pharmacists love Aquaphor for sure. Okay. And I have a lot of recommendations when we were going to mention face masks. Do you think that we have time to mention?
Yeah, let's quickly go over the face masks too. So that's another thing.
Yeah, because that's kind of the end, and I've got a lot of drugstore tips for face masks.
Okay, great.
Another topic. Okay, so the problem with the masks, right? We kind of already know they're trapping the moisture. They're causing friction. They're causing rubbing. Some people are getting dermatitis from it, which means your skin's becoming red. It's becoming itchy, sensitive, peeling, or dryness. So what do we do? So number one, you have to ensure that your mask is clean. So if it's a fabric mask, you need to wash it in the washing machine every day. If it's like a paper disposable mask and you're not getting a new one, you can actually just put it in the sun. Okay, so to clean. Okay. So that's keeping sure the mask is clean. So number two, we want to make sure that your skin is clean. This is not the time to be using exfoliation. Do not exfoliate when we're having these kind of issues. I want you to use a gentle non-surfactant cleanser. Like every pharmacist loves this. Have you heard of Cetaphil? Yeah. Okay. CeraVe, Basis. Yeah. So those are three great gentle cleansers. We can use them on kids. They're universal. So the Cetaphil, the CeraVe, the Basis. We've got our own, like I mentioned before, our Soothe line. Yeah. So the point is, during this time of with a mask wearing, you need to let your skin heal if you're dealing with some kind of reaction due to the over drying. A lightweight moisturizer during the day would be great. At night, though, remember how I mentioned at night your skin is healing, repairing itself, you need a thicker occlusive moisturizer. Unfortunately, we don't there's no moisturizers over the counter that I ever recommended. It's just just the gentle cleansers, unfortunately. But I don't know if you're gonna like this one. It's not good to wear makeup under the mask.
I mean, and that's okay. I mean, it's a new uniform guideline. We don't, since you have to wear the mask, no one's gonna know. True. If you have the makeup on. But I do think so. Maybe we're talking, like a pop of mascara. But don't try to keep this area super clean. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and if you're on acne medications, I would actually skip them during the day. I wouldn't normally say that during the day because under the mask, it's going to heat up those medications.
Oh, okay.
Result in a reaction. So that was just kind of another little tip for the mask. Some people are getting rosacea from the mask. I can. If you have that issue, please just reach out to me. I can talk to you more about that. About rosacea triggers and how to stop those and what you can do about it. But that was what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's smart. I didn't, especially about the acne medicine, because I know someone had said in the question was they were having breakouts because of the mask. So, I would naturally put on my medicine if I'm breaking out from my mask, and you're saying, not in the morning before you get, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Good. Okay. So tell us a little bit about the specials that you're offering us, because I know that you have some special deals for us, Flight Attendant Career Connection. Yeah, so I can't wait.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity. This is so fun for me to do something fun for you guys. Abbie, I love your group. You're doing an extraordinary, what you've done. I've been so pleased to have watched you soar. You're changing the industry. If anybody, like, I love Abbie. I've mentioned this to all my friends. So thank you for this opportunity to do this for your people. I love your people. I love your community. I love the support that they give. I've been with you guys and how you support each other. It's been rough times. And so you guys encouraged me by the way that you encourage others. Anyway, okay, so all new customers, remember I was talking about the 3 tiers of pricing, like the retail, the preferred. So usually you have to pay to get a preferred account, one-time fee. So I have a code just for you guys where you can get that account for free. So what that does,
so that's similar to like Amazon Prime or something, where like the way it's set up, like you pay the fee and then you get the discount all year, but you're going to be able to give us a coupon code to not have to pay the sign-up fee, correct?
Yes, and our sign-up fee is for life. It's not just for a year.
Oh, it's not just a year? What? That's even better than Amazon. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, good.
We love our preferred customers. So that gets you free shipping over $80 and it also gets you 10% off. So,
oh, nice. Okay.
But I want to do more than that. So everyone that orders now, let's give like a 10-day range would be good. I have a giveaway that I want to do. So I don't know if you remember, I mentioned the Body Replenish. I'm going to do a giveaway. So everybody that orders now and through 10 days, like I think that's the 18th. So the 18th, at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll end it. But you'll be entered to win 3 things, and that's going to be our Body Replenish, which is completely amazing. As a pharmacist, I struggled with what to recommend to my diabetics for their skin. It's that, is that bad. And now I have a solution. I love this for your body. Anyway, but I'm also going to throw in a lip shield. It's got the SPF that I talked about. And I'm also going to throw in a mini Soothe masks to the winner of that. So that's the giveaway. The first 5 to order will get a free, remember this, I said is unparalleled everywhere. The first 5 to order will get a free sample of this in the mail. And then corporately, they're doing a special right now where if you buy a regimen, you get a mini. It's called a mini regimen. This is only offered once a year. People go nuts over our minis. It's only like $10 more to get a mini. They're just very highly valued. And so that's just a corporate special that I wanted to mention going on now too.
Okay. So to get entered in the giveaway, you'll need to place an order with you or through the links that we put out. They don't have to like talk with you, right? I mean, like, if you know what you want, if you're like, give me the serum so I can replace my unicorn glitter, then they could just go ahead. But everyone who purchases between now and the 18th will be entered to win that. Is it the whole thing or is it the sample? It's the whole thing.
I know.
Y'all, I'm going to tell you, it is not going to be like gangbusters on the ordering. So your odds of winning, I mean, there will be some people, but like, this is not like you 1 out of 80,000 people. Like your odds are going to be pretty good if you go ahead and order. So if you were on the fence, like order, or if you have been looking at Rodan and Fields and didn't want to like, hey girl, back to somebody in the DMs, like this is your opportunity. And then you'll be entered to win that cool giveaway. That's amazing. Plus, it's also a win-win because the first 5 are going to get the sample of the other one, right? Cool. Now tell me the mini. So when you order your regimen, you can add on for approximately $10. It's basically like a travel kit. Is that kind of what we're saying? Okay,
It is. Yeah. So our regimens are designed to last 60 days. All of my customers, nobody has ever run out in 60 days. Our stuff is last you 3 to 4 months, just FYI. So our minis will probably last you 2 to 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Or you can put them in your bag. If you're in the interview stage, this is what you'll need so that you can still get through security. And then I had mentioned to you that flight attendants always have 2 sets of their toiletries. We have 2 toothbrushes, 2 hairbrushes, 2, everything, because you don't, for those of y'all who are not flight attendants yet, you don't unpack every 3 days and repack and unpack. So you have a kit, full makeup, 2 sets of makeup, everything. So you were mentioning that there could be a discount if they order 2 regimens?
Yeah, so those kind of things, they all come through me, right? It's not like corporate, So yeah, I can work with you. If anybody wants to order regimens For sure. I will give you either a free product of your choice. We can chat about that. If you'd rather have cash back, I'm happy to do that too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're saying I'm in, or if like you used Rodan and Fields before, something like that, and now you're like you're back, or you're like, yes, Laura, it's time for me to commit and make myself feel more beautiful, and I need 2 regimens, then just reach out to you, email or however, and y'all can talk about the best way to offer a little sweeten the pot a little bit for Flight Attendant Career Connection. And like Laura said, so this is not something that corporate does. It's not like it's something that she's doing through her business. So it's not going to be available outside of Laura. Okay. So if you do love Rodan and Fields and you have a consultant already, I know that, Laura would never want to steal a customer away. So keep ordering through who you're ordering through, but don't be rolling up there asking for the double discount. Okay. That's not available outside of Flight Attendant Career Connection. Okay, good. Amazing. Is there anything else that you wanted us to know kind of before we hop off?
Yes, and I cannot believe I didn't throw this in there somewhere. Some people only know us because of our lash boost. So our lash boost is the #1 lash serum on the continent. Totally didn't mention it, but I have people that only order that. I mean, it's amazing. If we can talk about lashes, if you need information, just get with me. But #1 lash serum. Like, I like it because I have chemotherapy patients on it and I can help them. And I like it because I have patients that as they're stressed, and some people when they're stressed, they pull out their hair and you regrow that back. But yeah, it's a legit deal. There's nothing else like it. Speaking to you as
lash boost. I know that is something that y'all are super famous for. So Kelsey Humphreys, who friend of Flight Attendant Career Connection, motivational comedian, she used to wear false lashes all the time as part of her brand, and she's switched to a lot of the time she's not even wearing her false lashes anymore because she does a lash boost. And she's blonde and everything. I mean, she's pretty fair and has light eyelashes and stuff, but it's been amazing. So I've definitely seen it in real life. I haven't used it yet, but it's on my list of things to add to. But it's legit.
It takes so long. Either some people cut their lashes or you just stop using it. You know what I mean? It hits your glass. It's beautiful. But
it's amazing what it does. Yeah. And then, so if you're interested in that, if you're like, I'm good with skincare or whatever, but you're trying to figure out a way to make your lashes look better, either on video for your video interview, or just because you don't want to wear your false lashes to work, or just because you want to be, looking less natural when you're all natural, which is kind of an oxymoron, but I totally get it. I think that, so lash boost. I didn't even talk about that. So how much does that run approximately, just for budget reasons for us?
Yeah. It's about lash boost about 150-ish, 145, 150.
Okay. And that's several months worth too. So you're buying maybe like 2 or 3 a year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Usually people only need about 2 lash boosters a year, 2 to 3.
Oh, 2. Okay, cool. So oh my gosh, that's amazing too. Because I mean, if you're gonna switch from false lashes, that's going to be way cheaper and easier too.
It is a no-brainer.
That's amazing. Maybe next time we'll do talking about lashes, and maybe lash boost could be our giveaway.
Ooh. We can make that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you for being so honest and open and just transparent. I know we kind of said this before, but this is a partnership between my company, Flight Attendant Career Connection, and Laura's company, Reflect and Shine. So I am incentivized, but as y'all know, I would never bring anything in front of you that I didn't believe in. And I hope that you can tell just from Laura's sweet disposition and her joy about the way she lights up when she talks about these different products, that this is something that we both are definitely behind. So thank you for spending some time with us. Please reach out to Laura if you have any questions, or put comments underneath this video. And I can't wait to have you on again to talk more about, let's see, we're going to do one about acne, it sounds like, one about skin sunscreen, and whatever else.
Yeah. I'd love to answer in the comments. When the kids go to bed tonight, if there's anything, I'd love to post some stuff. Thank you, Abbie, again, for being so gracious to me and so kind. I love this. It was the highlight of my day. I appreciate it.
Good.
Yeah, I have relationships with all of my customers, but like Abbie said, if you're not looking for a relationship, that's fine too. But I just want you to know that I will take care of you. We have white glove service as consultants.
Nice.
Is, ask me anything. I go alongside you to get you the skin that you want and that you deserve so that you can be confident. As Abbie mentioned, there's a direct link between self-esteem and your skin, the job that you need. Abbie mentioned my website. It's shineandreflect.net. So there I put the link for the special, just for you guys, for the special account. And if you want to have a phone conversation with me, there's a link there, all that kind of stuff. The solution tool is critical. The link is there. So shineandreflect.net. That name came from a quote in a song that says, Lord, if you would shine your love through me, I promise I will reflect it back to you. So that's where the name came from. I appreciate you guys' time. I'd love to meet any of all of you. And thank you again, Abbie.
I muted myself because of the guy again. Thank you. No, I really do appreciate this. So we will talk to you later. And hopefully we'll have some more fun conversations like this. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you, Laura. Talk to you later. Bye. All right. So like Laura said, if you're interested, if you're watching this video after June 18th, 2020, then the giveaway is over. But I still hope that you found some I still hope that you found in the content some tips and some information that can help you either on your flight attendant journey or in your travels or as a flight attendant professionally, because I know that I learned some things for sure. And I thought that I already knew. I didn't think I knew everything. Like, I'm not like that. But we had talked off camera, so I thought I didn't know I was going to be surprised, but I was. So hopefully you learned something too. Please drop any comments or questions down in the links below, and Laura or I will do our best to answer you. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for being a part of Flight Attendant Career Connection, and I'll see you later. Bye.